Okay, there we go. I'll bet $20 for back live. You go away, shut up. Actually, you know what? It's faster if I go here. Come on. Yep, we're back live. Yeah, there's me talking about bet we're still live. I'll just reshare it on Twitter.
Hey! And we're back.
Sorry about that, guys.
We're crazy peas.
Apparently, when I
and
tapped the
keep 'em
laptop,
going.
it said nothing on our end, but on its end, it decided to give us the middle finger and say, haha, stupid.
Yep, pretty much.
Kinda sucks, but it is what it is. And I always share it on Facebook too, because why not? And people will figure out, wait, what happened? Or they'll see and go, oh, okay. Because, I mean, my circle is you and a few other people. I don't have a lot of people on my Facebook, so.
Yeah.
I tried to share it to Instagram and it's telling me, who do you want to share it with? So I'd have to send people messages, and it's like, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
But anywho, what were we talking about before we realized
We were
everything
talking
went to
about
shit?
we were talking about how Brian and his buddy.
Oh yeah,
his
doing
siblings
the whole
all do
family
that.
thing together. There'd be 5 people working, and if you count my wife, that's 6.
Mm-hmm.
And with you crazy, y'all be like, no, you lunatic, leave.
Yeah, I would not allow Sheree involved in the bubble.
No, it'd be, alright, bitch, out.
Yeah, because like.
I mean, it would make
wouldn't wanna deal
everything
with
else
that.
a lot easier, because it's like, yeah, no, you think I'm full of shit, and I'm trying to fight you on stuff. I'm not trying to fight you. And then if the wife goes off, it's like, oh, so she's not the bad guy, you're the bad guy. Okay, so you have 2 choices. You leave with her, or you shut up and be part of the family.
Yeah, I mean, because I personally don't want my kids to be affected by Sheree's
The
bullshit.
stupidity that's around me currently, yeah.
Yeah, I don't want any of that. Like, I even learned that when we went to the storage shed, because when I went to the storage shed, I don't know what it is about that, but when we went to the storage shed, I was looking around at everything and being like, I miss my stuff. And I was like, I miss things that, like, make me think of me, you know? And, like, make me think of me in, like, and like, I made the joke. I was like, made me think I'm a god. But then like I was looking around and being like, because like a lot of times we're kind of buried by
Life.
not only life but Russell's anger and hatred and his baggage, and then like the stuff he likes to bring into the house.
See, and here's the funny part.
Create a cluster hell.
Teresa, the wife,
Does the same shit.
Crazy Sheree, Cam. What they don't realize is they're just like Rusty because they can't let go of the past.
Yeah. I realized when I went
And they
there.
wonder why everybody calls them the assholes.
Yeah.
You're all in this group who can't let go of the past, but you all hate each other because you all are doing the exact same shit. And who do you hate the most? Somebody who's exactly like you.
Yeah.
Too much so. See, because you're like me, but you're like me differently.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we get along. Because we're similar, but there's still enough difference in us
They're not
with our
too
viewpoints in
similar.
life and the way we grew up
Yeah.
that we get along like fucking 2 peas in a pod.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. And I don't know. It's interesting and weird because years ago, I was constantly angry all the time, and I was constantly frustrated all the time.
Same here.
And I was constantly just cycling in through my own garbage and BS, and then hanging out with your
Sorry
crazy
for the
ass,
noise.
hanging out with
I'm
your
hungry.
hanging out with your crazy ass, and yeah, you go on your rants, yeah, you vent a little bit here and there, but
90% of the time I'm mellow as shit.
yeah, but like, yeah, you're calm and relaxed and shit, and it's super funny watching Alan get frustrated at your antics and shit, because I'm like, Alan, you're way more self-defeatist than he is. Like, why are you whining about?
And my antics have a
him?
reason.
Yeah, you both would say that. That's the thing. But his is more self-defeatist.
His
He's more
antics are subconsciously driven by his past.
Yeah, and he's
He's still
self-sabotaging.
frustrated about everything that's happened to him But what he doesn't realize is he did it to himself.
Yeah.
If he became more self-aware than he already is, to the level that you've become and I already am because of the lunacy that happened, I had to become extra self-aware so that way I knew everything I did, good, bad, or neutral, whether it was burning or fire or not.
Yeah, exactly. I like the fact that I myself have gotten myself to the point where I'm not angry all the time. And I'm not
It's great, isn't it?
hateful all the time. In fact, I prefer being zen. I prefer being zen and balanced and just at peace. Like, just like calm. Just, what's up, buddy? Like that sort of thing.
So mellow, like somebody's young. Why are you angry? I don't know. Then go sit on your ass and work out your bullshit.
Yeah, it's to the point where like, years ago, if someone calls me on the phone at any job, whether it was Verizon or AAA or anything, they'd call me and start screaming and yelling, and I was so desensitized to the screaming and yelling, I'd get mad at it, yeah, but I was so desensitized to it because of my own bullshit that they'd answer the phone and stuff, and I'd be like, oh yeah, I know what that's like, I'm right there. But now it's like to the point where I've been working so much on my own stuff that they'll come at me all like angry and bitchy and everything, and I just kind of do this. Like, really? We're here again? Because, like, I'm trying to, like, push myself away from that. And it's like the job brings it right back. Like, it's trying to bring it back.
Here's a funny little snippet. It was, I think it was Mike Tyson said it.
I think so.
That
I know where you're going.
all the stuff, good and bad, happens to you because you're God's favorite, but at the same time, you're Satan's favorite. That's why all the bad stuff happens, all the stuff trying to push you.
Yeah.
Because it pushes you to get the rage and anger and just pure hatred and chaos, not in a good way. Not good chaos, bad chaos. It helps him. But all the good stuff is you being in a good energy so that way God can give you the stuff you need. So just remember, you're God and Satan's favorite.
So is it really an eternal holy war then? Mm-hmm. That's what a lot of Christians say, is that it's a holy war. And I'm like, is it really a holy war, or is it just both son and father just playing patty cake?
It depends on how you view holy.
Or they're playing, like they're playing ping pong.
My viewpoint is
you're a ping pong.
It's
and they're
an
playing
eternal
ping pong.
war, but you have to pick your side. You live in the shit pile, or you dig yourself out, clean yourself off, and live in a beautiful field with rainbows and all this other stuff. Well, fucking rainbows, because that means it rained. Oh, great, it rained. That means the plants will grow. I'll have more oxygen to breathe. We're not all gonna die.
Yeah.
Instantly, rain. Ah, it's gonna be a good day.
Yeah.
That's instantly where my brain goes. Good day because of rain.
But this, this is, right?
Where'd you find that?
In storage.
Nice.
It was in one of the totes that we had in the storage shed. That was from my desk.
Yeah, you said that you went and got them today.
Yeah. This is the Ares box. This has the ashes of Ares. Even in death may he be triumphant. It's my long 15-year-old dog who passed away back in 2017. 2017.
15 years is a good time for dogs, though.
Yeah.
That's a pretty long life.
I had like this interesting wave though that washed over me when I put it in the back of the van. Like we got everything all into the car that we needed at that moment and locked it all up, and I sat in the front again on the passenger side while the wife's driving, and we're getting in there. And as we were driving away, I had this weird wave wash over me. And it was like this wave, it was like a protection spell was being issued. It was interesting.
Not issued. Reattaching itself.
Yeah, it was nice. Because I was going, I've been feeling the opposite of that. And I've got both the ashes of my mom, which is around my neck, and then ashes of Ares in that box. What I'm thinking about is getting a newer lock for this box, cutting that previous lock, getting a new lock because I lost the key to that, and then getting a hold of like another necklace piece, and then just having like some of the ashes inside of the necklace piece and hanging out with Mom.
I have one saved on my Amazon. I was gonna get you for a birthday or Christmas. It didn't work out. Last year or the year before to do it, or you'd already have it.
That makes sense.
Because you'd made a comment when y'all were still in the apartment. I said, okay. Depending on how the money flow is, we'll see
Yeah.
if I can get you one or not.
Yeah. I was thinking about going to Dollar Tree or one of those other stores. We didn't do it tonight because I was focused on getting energy drinks for the podcast. But thinking about going to somewhere cheap that has those locks and then getting that thing a brand new lock so I can then take some of the ashes and move them around. Because that was something I talked about doing years ago and I haven't done it.
It happens.
But it would feel great to have Mom on this
Is it in this one?
and Aries. That way they could both be together on my neck.
Yeah. Yeah, this one. It says look for other buying options, so this one currently isn't available.
Okay.
Because it's, yeah.
It'd be like literally the same
You put
type
it
of
in the
thing.
bottom and it screws, you just screw a screw in. Instead of it screwing on the top,
Yeah, like this one is.
yeah, it's on the bottom.
Okay.
And I think it came with, yeah, it comes with a little funnel. You put a
Yeah.
little bit of ash in and you tap it in.
Yep, you tap it in. It's just like this one.
Yeah. I'll find you another one.
Yeah, because that way I could have both the Aries ashes and Mom's ashes together on my neck. Because I wear it everywhere. Gym, pool, shower, everywhere. As long as the thing is waterproof, it'll probably work out.
As long as you, if you want to make sure it's waterproof, the thing I know is
This
you
thing's
get
waterproof.
the
Even said waterproof on the product description. It's what Andrew got me.
Well, no, that's not my thing. My thing is if you want to double check, you get the what is it, the Loctite?
Yeah.
Like I think it's the red one, the permanent one.
Mm-hmm.
You put it on the screw and it'll be permanent.
Okay.
Because it keeps it from jostling around, being let loose.
Yeah.
Or if you ever want to open it again, you get the blue one.
Yeah.
Because I watch a few of the car channels,
Yeah.
and if it's something where you want to keep it locked down, but also be able to pull it off if you need to later, you use the blue Loctite so that way, with enough pressure, you can actually break it.
Yeah.
Break the seal at least.
Mm-hmm.
Then clean it off and reseal it.
Yeah. Everywhere. If spirits do follow you wherever their ashes are, then Mom's always hanging out with us at the gym.
I don't
working
think
out.
they follow their ashes. I think their ashes keep them attached to you no matter where they go. So that way if you talk about them or need them, they'll know. Because they're physically attached to your physical form.
Okay.
But also think about it this way. You literally give your mom and your dog a Viking burial.
Yeah.
You burned them. That's
Yeah.
a Viking burial. The only difference is you didn't ship them off on a boat going down the ocean.
Nope. No, in fact, Nico was looking it up because they were curious. And then I messaged Nico back and went, you had to get that in my head, didn't you?
What?
And it's the fact that they will often nuke the bodies, cremate them with their guts attached. Like
Yeah.
they literally just throw the body in the oven. Like they don't do anything else to it. They just throw like, body, oven, there you go. Okay, collect ashes.
Not just collect ashes, because usually with most cremation furnaces, it doesn't get hot enough to burn the bones. So they literally pull the bones out and put it into a grinder
Mm-hmm.
to grind the dust, and they just mix it in with the ashes.
Okay.
So, and because the bones don't burn, that is actually what gives it more of an attached to the dead person, because bones are permanent no matter what.
Yeah. Makes sense, even though the bag they gave us was full of ash. She was a big woman.
But see, the funny part is you wouldn't see the bones because they get ground up so fine.
Mm.
It just blends in.
That explains why the ashes are so heavy, though. That explains why the ashes are heavy, though. Because normally ash is light as fuck, because it's practically like air.
But it's not. If you get enough, and also because of the elements that make up the human body combined with as much calcium as in your bones and vitamin D, those are the heavier elements in your body.
Yeah, if you were to take that vase that's on her altar and pick it up, you'd be like,
oh, I've picked it up.
God damn, this is like 10, 20 pounds. Yeah, it's pretty heavy set of ashes for it being ash.
But think about it this way. Excuse me. She was a big woman, you were saying. Or I agree with, she was for her age, but I mean, once you get so old, you can't get rid of the belly or anything, you're just big.
Yeah.
But, my thing is, with her smoking or e-puffing or whatever it was right before, for as many years as she has all those heavy elements in her body too.
That's true.
Because the funny part is, I notice when I don't smoke, or if I like go off cigarettes, I drop weight like it ain't fucking shit.
I thought you dropped more weight when you smoked.
When I smoked, actually, the last 10 pounds, I stopped smoking and dropped it like faster than I dropped the rest.
Really?
It only took like a week.
Huh.
And I dropped like 10 pounds.
Huh. Yeah, because I remember when we weighed me last at the gym, I was like in my 170s.
You lightweight motherfucker.
And I vape a lot.
But vaping isn't heavy chemicals. Or not as heavy as the cigarettes.
Okay.
Because tar is heavier than the ingredients, like basically smoking chemicals.
Yeah.
In the e-puff stuff. Those are like weird little facts I know.
Yeah.
Plus, because a lot of people made bitches forever, most of the vape juices you get now are made with the vegetable stuff instead of the other one, because the other one's actually more harmful.
Yeah.
I mean, you'd have to check on your thing. I think it's the VG juices. If you get those, they're actually lighter and do less damage to your lungs and you, because they don't have to add as much as other chemicals as they do. But if you use I think it's SG or CG.
Yeah.
That's the same stuff they have to use for the flavor. Because I bought I bought a whole kit to make my own flavors.
Yeah.
And before it expired and went to shit, dude, I was making flavors and puffing that shit like it was an actual cigarette. When I made it myself, I didn't have the adverse reactions to buying the pre-filled puff bars or anything else. I could have the nicotine almost at max and wouldn't even feel it because of the veg.
Yeah.
Glycerin or veg, whatever the VA is, or VG. I think it's G because it's a glycerin. But it was actually lighter and more easy on me.
Makes sense.
But because of how heavy I smoke, with the e-cigarette stuff, it was actually making it harder to breathe. So that's why I went back to cigarettes.
Whereas for me, it's just fine when I vape.
Well, also the difference in our genetics slightly.
Yeah.
I mean, because Amber said you and her did the 23andMe or Ancestry or whatever bullshit.
Yeah, Ancestry.com.
Stuff. And 90% of the background from both families come from the same regions. So your genetics are really close to mine because it goes back into what we were laughing and being really loud and made a whole bunch of people nervous at the pool.
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
About the cousin fuckers. Because technically we're all cousin fuckers.
Yeah, it was funny. Like, I kept watching as people were getting all nervous and shit. And I was like, we're making everybody nervous. Because of the fact that, you know, we're making funny jokes about it.
I'm laughing our asses off from swimming.
Yep.
Oh yeah. Like the one lady came in, tried to swim in the lane with the one guy who was like super swimming.
Who's doing the type of
And then
swimming
she
I used
got
to do.
out, and when we got out, went to the hot tub. She's like, "No, I'm just out." She just left. She's like,
Yeah.
"Fuck y'all, you're nuts."
Yeah, no, that was pretty funny.
I thought it was priceless.
Yeah, no, anytime that we're like out there just shooting the shit or just hanging out, whatever, at the pool,
And randomly saying random shit.
and then randomly saying, you know, things that socially people would be like, "What the fuck are they talking about?" Like I watch as they all bounce, and then suddenly out of nowhere we got the whole pool area to ourselves because they all just bounce, and I'm just like,
Because they got nervous about what we were saying. Oh
mhm. Yeah.
That's why 90% of the time I'm okay with saying whatever, wherever, whenever. Because and leave. Hey, look, we have more air.
What's funny is you talk about Democrats, Republicans, which is politics.
You talk about everything.
Or you talk about the Bible, or you talk about certain key things. People will assume things not only about yourself as a person, but also they'll assume that you're somehow going to be uncomfortable around them, and then they just bounce. And I'm like, huh? So should I just use trigger words if I want people to leave me alone?
I do. It's not exactly worked for me, so I mean, yeah, go for it. See if you get more fans then.
You keep
I like
talking about
him.
you
He's
need
an
more
asshole.
haters. You keep talking about how you need more haters.
No, funny part is I try to get more haters, and they're like, "We like him. You're crazy. Come talk more." Like you always say with some of the people who, because of you, I met
Yeah.
online. They're like, "Where is he? He hasn't posted. He hasn't jumped in the in the groups. He hasn't been doing anything."
Yeah, I remember that. It was pretty funny.
And it's like he's off living life. He's just on the grindstone.
Yep.
Is that all he does currently?
Yep, exactly.
And they're all like, "Why?" Because he likes it, and I do. You want to do something today? Yeah. I'll come by around this time. What are you doing? Whatever the hell I want. Making money. Absolutely nothing. Being a complete psychopath. Whoa.
Banging all those side bitches.
Only the 5 or 6, you know.
I think Cam gave me her head cold.
That bitch gave me COVID, so whatever. Fuck her.
Why did it make me laugh? Because it sounded like it's one of those things where they turn COVID into such a giant thing that it's almost like saying she gave me AIDS.
No. She gave me a tickly dick for a week. God damn it, woman. Because she did. Because Nephi made the comment that he think he got it because he was literally trying to climb up her ass. In a good way, though. And because he was dragging her with us everywhere.
He's trying to
It ended up becoming... Therefore, like I said, it was like 12 hours or 24 hours. I had trouble breathing, and then it was like instant gone.
Yeah.
Alright, I get COVID like, cool.
Mm-hmm.
Where I'm just so damn resistant to it, it's like, bitch, please.
Yeah.
And that's when I was working out with Nephi at Vasa. Before I
Yeah.
went to EOS.
I remember
So-
Vasa.
I like the pool. I like the energy of the place. But the cost to have a membership
At
and
Vasa.
go, to have a full membership so that way I can use the pool and drag whoever I want with me,
Mm-hmm.
wasn't worth the $50 a month.
Yeah. Yeah, $50
And
is
I-
a bit extensive.
Was able to go to EOS and get full membership for what I was paying for a second term membership at Vasta. So I'm like, alright,
Yeah,
stamp,
it's-
sign, done.
Yeah, it's only like $30 to get a membership at
And you get the yearly,
EOS.
what is it, like $80, $90 charge for cleaning fees.
Yeah.
But it's like, that's fine, because when we used to go late at night, we'd end up hanging out and talking to the cleaning ladies.
Yeah.
A couple of them cute.
Yep. Indeed. Yeah, no, and it's cool too, because at EOS they also have the massage chairs and the hot tub and other stuff.
And it's open 24/7. That's what sold me.
The 24/7.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Because then that way
I'm
you don't
having an
have to-
insomnia attack. I can't sleep. I'm going to the gym for an hour. I'm going to work my ass to almost pass out tired.
Yep.
Go to the pool to keep myself awake enough. Swim for half an hour. Go home. And by the time I get home, the coldness from the pool or the moving my blood around to wake myself back up will go away. And I'll just... Ow!
Yeah, no, it's kind of funny and interesting because, like, we have literally been to that gym all hours of the day. Like,
whenever, wherever.
Yeah,
just
like,
show the fuck up and go.
Because Vasa always opened up at, like, I think it was 7 or 9.
5.
Okay, 5 a.m.
It opened at 5 a.m. The only reason I know that is because when I started to change my workout schedule so I could go, because Nikki was going to school, but I didn't have enough time because of how late she was going to school, because she was the second half of the day kindergarten.
Yeah.
From going the first half of the day, like, or the full day head start.
Yeah.
Completely fucked up my whole work schedule, so I had to figure something out new. And I started going at 5 every morning, working my ass off for an hour and a half, coming home, waking up the kids, and getting the day started.
Yeah.
Now
they
it's
closed at 9 p.m. or 10 p.m.
10.
And so those nights where you wanted to do late night workout, couldn't do it because they closed. And so then when we got the OS membership, suddenly we were going at like 10 o'clock at night, 11. There was one night we were there at 12 just because we felt like it. Or we'd start at 10:30 and then we'd end at about 1:30 and just come back here. And then there were other times where we went in the morning or midday. In fact, there was one day where you were frustrated with something with that was going on. And so you're like, I need to go, let's go swim. I'm like, okay. And then after we got done swimming, I thought we were leaving. And then you're like, no, let's go hit a couple of the weights. I'm like, okay. So we did that. And that was like midday.
It was a full fucker.
Yeah. And
I had such a rageful or whatever. I don't even remember what it was. But yeah, I remember that. Something had happened that just sent me over the edge. And I'm like, we're going to work out because I'm rageful. Get your shit ready. I need to fucking do something, and I'm not going to be by myself, goddammit.
Yeah. And she's like, and you came back and you're like, I'm going to borrow your husband. Shut up. Okay, bye.
Yep.
She's like, wait, what? He's like, I what did I say? I said, I'm going to borrow your husband. We'll be back soon. Take care of the kids. She's like, okay.
all confused and what the hell just happened?
Yeah. And I'm just like going, okay, whatever, let's go have fun, throw heavy shit or whatever. But by that point I started actually gaining like the type of body I have now. And like now it's just to the point where like we just go and we
keep ourselves in shape.
Yeah, we go and we either follow the center workout that we've been following for a little while, or we modify a little bit, or we just do an entirely different thing that one day or a couple days.
Well, yeah, because it's like, okay, all the flat benches are taken, and the bench, or the stand machine, or whatever it is taken. Okay, we'll go do decline.
Yeah.
Because it works out this part. Everybody's like, no, work out this, because it'll show more. Yeah, but if you work out this, it lifts it up, and it's like, you want to see my chest?
Yep.
I'm still sore right here.
Oh, I
and
am.
right
yeah.
here from.
I'm
But I
feeling
mean,
it.
also doing wall push-ups and stuff too. I keep going with that sort of shit, and dude, my chest is like, you fucking asshole.
Yeah, no, I was feeling it today. All today, I was just like going. I woke up in the morning and or in the, like it was like 10, 12-ish, because my body was like, fuck you, I'm sleeping in. Even though like I went to bed relatively early for me, and I ended up like waking up and I kind of just sat up and I was like, oh god. And then Amber's like, what's going on, babe? And I'm like, oof. And then she feels my muscles. She's all like, you didn't even work it out and it's already puffed up. And I'm all like, yeah, flex. Oh.
But see, I mean, that's the awesome part. You work out enough, and it's the thing, like, you need to stretch so that you don't become the gym bro like this, always flexing. Like, why not? Ha 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 ha. Either she's sending smiley faces or she's laughing her ass off at us.
She's probably doing both.
Yeah. But I mean, for me, you know, the whole flex thing. There's your hearts, Thomas. TPAW. But for me,
like Deadpool.
It's if I get stuck like this, always flexing, then why do I need to be, you know, like, it's the be the gym bro who's always flexing, and your muscles are stuck in this mode, but you can still do stuff because you have enough flexibility. Because I got stuck like this a couple times, like 6 months in, when I first started at Vasa.
Yeah.
And when I was still donating plasma, where I was just stuck like this and having my arms straight was just like, the pain!
Yeah.
But I did it so much and I stretched out because of that I could still sit there like this and be fully flexed, but I could extend my arm for them to poke the needle in and just be like, okay.
Yeah.
It ain't shit. I'm in so much pain because I was working out so hard. My pain level was actually to where I would consider it a 5.
Yeah.
So that's like a 15 to a 20. So for everybody else. So for me, it's just like, alright, I like this.
Yeah.
I mean, my calves are a little bit bigger. That's the only issue I have with working out. Because no matter how much I work out, my calves are always tiny. I got the chicken like, big, thick, muscular thighs. Tiny calves.
Yeah.
The fuck?
Yeah, it was
No matter what I do, I can build up everything else. That's the one thing, no matter how much weight I'm lifting or squatting or anything with it, you have tiny calves.
Yeah. It was even funnier when Jose was with us too, because he'd be like, "I got my chicken legs," and then Carson was all like, "What do you mean, bitch? First time? I got chicken legs too." And then you guys looked at me and you're like, "You and your fucking your little non-skinny calves." I'm like, "What?" I'm like, "I used to ride my bike a lot and swim."
Swimming, see, and that's the issue. Well, it's not an issue. It's more of something I try to fix, but I can't always fix because the way my body naturally works with the CMT. It's I never remember to swim with my feet.
Yeah.
It's all upper body. It's all shoulders and chest and back. It's and just go.
Yeah.
That's my swim. Because even when I don't touch the bottom and actually swim, it's all upper body. It's only my feet if I lay on my back and go backwards. If I'm not laying on my back and going backwards, and even that's only like 10% because I'm still moving my arms.
Yeah.
If I swim, or even just go do the bullshit swims we do, just like stretch.
Yeah.
It's all up here. And that's like the whole reason to do it, because you want to have the, I have giant shoulders. But I mean, for me, it'd be a lot more like this if they were actually big.
It's even funnier is
But I always like having the broad shoulders. It's like, yes, broad shoulders.
Yeah, it's funny is I was outside venting to Alan and his girl, and we're sitting there. And out of nowhere he decides he wants me to come out to the dirt area, and I'm like, for what? And he's like, let's do this. And I'm like, do what? He's like, and then he like gripped my shoulders with his hands, and I grabbed his shoulders, and then he ended up trying to Samoan arm wrestle me and shit. And he's all like, and then by the time, and then by the time we got done with that, he was just all like, you know, I'm not that bad. I got some big thick legs, and I'm just like going, I'm all like, yeah, if only you were to stop whining and go to the gym, that'd be great. Then you could turn into a tank.
Right? I mean, I don't look that big. My son, my daughter, other people, including you and Amber, and Mom and Dad, and my other siblings, whenever they lived here and whatnot, everybody always like, your brother scares me. Connor, your dad scares me. Nikki, your dad scares me. The kids are scared of me because I'm just the tank. Bro. And I'm like, alright, I like being the tank. Because no matter what, even with the belly, go for it. Because Connor's like just out of nowhere just hit me and I went clink. Okay, and?
Yeah, he was like, we were in the hot tub and we were sitting there for a good like 5-10 minutes, and you were like talking about the belly and talking about workouts and stuff to him, and he just kind of walks up to you and goes to go hit your stomach, and you're like, What, are you gonna hit me? Go harder. And he's just all like, And he's like, ow! And then you're just all like, yeah, what'd you expect? And then he goes and does it to me, and I'm like, what's up? And he's all like, guys have abs. Shit.
Yes, we have the rock hard. You could probably shoot it with a bullet and go ping.
And then next thing you know, he gets this little Connor thing.
His whatever weird noises, yeah.
Yeah, his weird noises that he makes before he jumps in the pool and goes, welcome to Walmart.
And he does that because he gets a reaction. Okay, I can get a reaction by doing this. Blah, blah, blah. Do it. And it's like, child.
There was one time where I dropped my stuff, and out of nowhere I hear him about to jump in the pool, and he like does the whole, covers his nose, and he just jumps in the pool, and he goes, thank you for shopping at Walmart. And I'm all like, the fuck? Just like start laughing out of nowhere, and he comes up for air, and he goes, ah! And I'm like, Connor, what the hell are you doing? He's all like, huh? What? And I'm like, oh, now we're back to that, huh? The huh what? And he's like, ah! And I'm like, going, shut up, child.
He's doing the and stuff. Yeah.
Yep.
He's like I was at that age. He's got to be the sound effects guy for everybody. And with his teachers today, because it was come see the teachers if you have time.
Yeah.
And he asked me if I'd show up for it. I'm like, yeah, sure. And one of the teachers was like, he likes to make noises. I've asked him to not make them till like the end of class, and he's actually respected. He doesn't make noises till like the last 15 minutes of class.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, so he's been requested to do something and he does it. Awesome. Plus, I've also been told by other teachers today that if they ask him to get back on task, he's like instant back on task, kick ass, done. So he's got 1 or 2 hiccups in like 2 classes.
Yeah.
And it's going to be really simple for him to just go, done.
Makes sense.
He's basically got straight A's. Or about as damn close as you can get with his craziness and my loony brain and
so he's not
a little
doing
bit
as bad
of
as he said he was going.
He
talking mad shit
sees
that one night.
it bad because, and he brought it up to a teacher. Or she made the comment, and he made a comment with it about She says he has an A. He's an A minus. I'm like, an A is an A. Shut up.
That's what I would have told him.
Echolala.
Oh, echolalia. I think she's trying to say that Connor has echolalia.
That wouldn't surprise me. I had it as a kid. I think it's a kid thing in the genetic pool. My side and possibly even your side too. It's this weird thing that's how we deal with our environment. We copy or make weird noises or things that we've heard that we like the sound of it from our voice because what our ear hears from us speaking is different than what everybody else hears.
Yeah.
So when you figure out how to make everybody else hear it the way you hear it, you can all laugh about it and enjoy the noise. The only issue with him, because of how young he is he's not fully gone through puberty and hasn't dropped the full octave. He's still at the squeaky teenager loud tone thing. It's like, dude, down an octave. You just like busted my eardrum, or almost.
And then he tries to make that anime girl sound where he goes, or something like that. He does.
He does real good.
Yeah, he does that.
and a few other anime and whatnot noises. I think it's hilarious.
She says, "Is that why you talk shit to him all the time?" Gustelle says it's a form of ADHD stemming.
It's not stemming.
That's
from my viewpoint.
That's what she said. Yeah, no, it's he. I don't know. He definitely has ADHD.
Oh no, he does. He's just like me.
Yeah.
But he, because of all the craziness I've taught him and a few of the tricks me and his mom has taught him, he has better control of it than I ever did. If I'd have had the info, or if Dad wouldn't have broke his brain and would have been able to give me the information properly instead of the scream yelly stuff he does, my brain would have processed the world a lot better. because it wouldn't be like me. Okay, stop. You're irritating me because you just keep doing it constantly. Let's discuss.
Yeah.
Or, stop! What did I do? Nothing. You were being annoying. I got you to stop. Okay, now let's talk. You know, the one big boom, or just a loud noise. Bang.
Yeah. The reset.
Why did you do that? To get you to stop. Now that you stopped, let's discuss. I mean, you've seen me do it to him at the pool.
Yeah.
Stop! You're pissing me off. Quit talking bad about yourself. Now let's go to the positive. You got put in this thing, or this happened because you did something. So, next time, don't do this thing, or use that they moved you to this class to become the most badass in that class and be the one who's making straight A's.
He'll literally spend the entire half hour in the pool just like...
Telling him to up his freaking positivity.
Going back up.
And take away the negativity.
He'll literally spend like a half hour just going on and on and on about bad shit.
It's
auditory stimming, helps stimulate and regulate the brain.
Well, that's your viewpoint, not mine, because I think the audible part isn't stimming, because I always understood stimming as a physical thing. But that's like people having ticks. I have a tick where, you know, I mean, you've seen me do it with my fingers.
Yeah.
And whatnot. That's how I stim. But I got a pick, so I'll be right back.
You're good.
Harass them about the lunacy at the gym.
Yeah, so as far as all this shit goes, lately we've been kind of fluctuating back and forth between doing the Center app, which is, don't know if you guys even know what that is, but on the on Facebook Media, I saw advertisements for it back when Chris Hemsworth, aka Thor, was doing his little workout stuff, and Center kept getting advertised, and I wasn't going to touch it until after Karnage himself told me, he's like, oh yeah, I found the Center app, and I'm like, so did I, but I didn't pay for it. And he just kind of was like, well, I got a deal for it. So I went ahead and did the Center app, and now recently we've been kind of fluctuating back and forth between Center app and then our regular workouts, because there was a workout regimen we were doing where we were working out nonstop for hours, like 2 or 3 hours a night, and there was 1 week where we did 5 days a week because he was trying to get me used to the whole flavor of the workout. Because at first it was just 2 times a week or 2 or 3 times a week. Then I increased it to 5, and for a while we were doing like giant workouts.
Tried to attack me.
Oh, it fell off?
No, it just tried to attack me.
Oh.
Quite literally. I touched the door like, you touched me.
Yeah. But yeah, we were doing the workout stuff for 5 days a week, and now we're kind of doing it for like 3 to 4, depending. But
on the week and schedules.
But it's really just comes down to school life with kids and adult life with jobs and other shit. And
well, because during the summer, it's okay. I'll come get you at night. Because there's been a couple times on like Mondays and Wednesdays. I'm like, should I go get them? But it also determines on whether or not the other crazies come back.
Yeah, which is fair. Like the couple of nights where you were like, oh well, I think Teresa's brother might be like going to the hospital or something. That was like months ago.
Well, that's what she told me, and if that's not what happened, then that's on her for lying.
Yeah.
Which I couldn't give a crap.
And apparently she's throwing in lots and lots of hearts and lovey faces. Love you too, girly.
Because you were by yourself. So she's gonna throw loves.
But I thought she was just doing that because I was talking about the gym. I was going to be like, okay, I guess I'll keep talking about the gym because you're throwing all the heart stuff. But, yeah, like, recently I actually have, I'm almost, by the way, remember guys how I talked about how I was working on the audiobook, or at least I was trying to, and how I was talking about how I had gotten to like chapter 7 or 8, and then like I had halted for a while, and like spent like a month and a half off of it. Well, just in the last couple weeks, last few weeks actually, 2.5 weeks, I have spent the last couple weekends flying through different chapters and then re-recording ones that just didn't work very well. So now,
didn't sound good enough.
Yeah, they didn't sound up to the par that I want them to be. I now have like 1 or 2 chapters left, and then after that, I'm editing, and that means that the audiobook will be done a lot sooner than we previously thought.
Than you thought. I told you you'd get at least the recording part done by October. I told you.
Yeah, you did.
No, you'll get it done by October. I don't think so. No, you'll do it.
Yeah.
Because
So-
I know you have the work ethic for it. So.
Yeah. No, I literally got, like, after I had to publicly announce that and publicly announce the struggle I was having, I was like, I need to fucking fix this shit. Like, I have no problem working out and making myself sweat balls all fucking day. Let's do this shit. And so I, like, turned off all the fans and, like, basically it was like being in a hot box in here because, like, there's no, like, the heat just kind of settles. And
This is the hottest room in the house without a fan.
yeah, no, it really is.
The closest one to it is that one right there.
And I literally,
Behind the wall, because both of them are sitting right above the water heater and the heater. So
Yeah.
those are the warmest rooms in the house
Yeah.
all year.
yeah, and it literally, like, during the summer, it has been like a hot box working with AAA, like working at the job. And I would be sitting and facing that direction because that's where the work computer is. But then I'd swivel around to this direction and I'd start doing my audiobook stuff or other stuff on this computer that I'm podcasting on with him. And literally just sitting here in the exact same chair that I use for work, that I use for everything else, the exact same chair, I'm sitting here, just sitting here facing more this direction because that's where the microphone is, and I am sweating. Like, sweat is cascading off my face, and I'm just like going, I'm not even moving at the gym. What the fuck is happening right now? And the fans are off and everything. I'm dripping.
Yeah, see, there's the funny part. Ooh, and another funny thing I noticed, which I just came to realization to, like, earlier this week,
Mm-hmm.
last week, I think, somewhere in that range. The end of last week, beginning of this week. I sweat more now because I've accidentally got myself into smoking so much. When I wasn't smoking, I wasn't sweating because I had no extra toxins. No extra toxins to expel out of my body.
Huh.
That's why I worked out for 2 hours and didn't barely a drop of sweat.
Huh. Interesting.
I was thinking about it. That's why I was gonna launch it to you since I'm gonna try to quit. You try to quit the EPUF thing, see if that like drops your sweat down because you don't have to extract so many toxins from your body. You won't sweat as much.
I doubt that would be a thing. Because even when I was a teenager and young adult and I was doing like biking everywhere with a regular bicycle, and even like when
But did you drink sodas and energy drinks?
No, I drank water primarily.
Ah.
And I still sweat. I still
No,
sweat
but
like
I'm
a
saying
friggin'.
maybe it won't be as excessive.
I doubt it. Right? It's just in my blood. My dad sweats when he eats fucking hot food. Yeah, like when he eats
The
spicy
fuck?
food and shit, like he pours
Weakling.
sweat. Like I wouldn't say that. Like he will
Well,
eat,
no. I mean, from
he'll
my
eat
viewpoint,
spicy food
'cause
like
I
crazy.
can eat spicy food. I've never sweat from spicy food. Anything spicy, even actually eating just straight peppers.
He will literally
I've
like,
never had that happen.
especially in his mid-30s when he was my age, walking around with leather jackets and shit, and like
Well, leather jacket keeps the warmth in, so
Dude.
yeah.
didn't smoke cigars or anything, but he could have been practically Wolverine back then. And like he was like wearing his leather jackets and shit and everything, and we'd be at like the restaurant, and they would be like, yeah, like, are you sure you want to do this hot sauce? He's like, the hottest you got, and they're like, are you okay? And he's just like, fine, totally fine. I just love the kick. And we would eat the food and shit, and he would have to take a napkin and extra. And he's like, do you guys have extra napkins? They're like, yeah. What's going on? You're about to make a hot mess. He's all like, it's about to come off my head. And so then he would take all the napkins and just go, and you'd watch as the napkins just got filled with water. And I was like going, are you guys allergic to spice or something? And he's like, I don't know. I just know I sweat a bunch when I eat hot food. And he would go, and then like,
Maybe that's an adaptive thing that somebody in your past genetically adapted because they were the person to test the food for, like a king or something. It's spicy. They're
Maybe.
sweating. Don't eat that. That's spicy. That's going to fuck up your belly, your
Yeah,
highness, sort of thing.
maybe.
Or lord, or, whatever the situation was.
Yeah, no, you could never confuse him for being weak with him. Like,
Well,
he-
no. I said that as a joke because weak stomach or,
Yeah.
why would you sweat? But I also know a lot of people that do that, and my first thought is, why? How? Because with my lunacy, I know part of it's the CMT, but the
Yeah.
other part of it's also my dad's genetics.
Hmm.
From that bloodline. I know where that bloodline goes and where it is, and it's like, yeah, then how come, you know, these things don't happen to me? Then I know people who have similar bloodlines. The only difference I can say
The way
with
his
the
body was.
bloodline, no, I mean with the genetics is the CMT. That's the one abnormality in my genetics that makes it so that way people with similar, you know, like lineage,
Yeah.
they sweat when they eat spicy food, or, you know, like you sweat more than I do with the workouts or certain things.
Mm-hmm.
It's, I wonder if because of the lack of being able to feel, and basically how 90% of my like nerves are only working at like 50% of the time, or like 80%,
Yeah.
50 to 80%. Maybe that's why I don't sweat, because even when I hurt myself in a good way where I can feel it, it feels like a good workout, it's the weird part of I don't need to sweat because we're not actually in stress. The body's not stressing. The body's not having a reaction to it, because with the CMT, my body's always in, I could fail, destroy, or blow up at any point, so fuck it.
Yeah. Maybe. I just know that I do sweat when I eat spicy food.
Yeah.
I do.
I mean, for me,
it's genetics. Like,
it's an abnormality, and the only abnormality that makes sense for me from the lineage, or from what I know from my lineage, is it's the CMT.
yeah.
It's the only thing that's the factor that's different than everybody else, or most people I know who have the same type of lineage.
Yeah.
I mean, heck, even the wife's lineage, talking to her dad and whatnot, what they know about where they come from, their genetics, pretty damn close.
Makes sense. Now she's no longer throwing heart faces. Talk about Jim. Just kidding. Just kidding. Yeah, no, it's crazy. Like,
oh, you want to talk about the gym? What about the two skinny bitches that were directly in front of us when we were doing the bench press? Right before I sat down, they walked up. I looked and went and laid down, and one of them saw it in the mirror.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, he saw it. She gave me a look, and I'm like, eh. I gave the say something.
Yeah.
And just went back to working out.
Yeah.
Because the one in the green shorts was the one always doing squats whenever I came up.
Yeah.
Or right before I went down to do the fucking bench press.
Yeah, timing.
Not even timing. I think she did it on purpose because she saw me staring at her. It was a happenstance stare, and I'm like, ooh, nice. All right, go work out.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, we're at the gym. And because, you know, us going to the gym, now it's the kids who are 16 to 18, plus some of the older guys who are at the gym always. So you got the big muscular dudes, and you have the muscular young people because they're still young.
Yeah.
So it's easier for them to maintain and keep the muscle.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of the chicks are like super fucking almost sickly skinny, but you can tell they're fit with the way they're lifting weights and stuff, and my eyes just go, God, there's so many asses and tits around.
Yeah.
Holy shit! And because my brain goes there, if I'm not even thinking about it, I just happen to look, and I see somebody doing a certain exercise, my brain goes, okay, let's see the form. I stop and watch the form. And then the little demon in the back of the head goes, yeah, but can you see a panty on it? Shut up, fucker! Intrusive thought just came forward. Look and see if you can see a panty line or thong line. The fuck? Where's this coming from? But I mean, it comes, and I'm just like, okay, there's a random fucking dirty thought. Okay. I mean, I'm a dirty old man, so fuck it. And keep moving.
Yeah.
But I mean, I just think it's funny. My brain goes there, and I'm just like, okay, really. Because I always think it's funny also too, because some of the girls I've noticed, and I wasn't even looking on purpose, I was just looking around, because you know me, I can't sit in one spot. I look around, and when I'm looking in the mirror, watching myself do the workout in a few of the spots that have the mirrors,
Yep.
I'm looking at everybody around me, behind me, in every direction. Because
Yeah.
it's the way my ADHD brain works. I'm paying attention to everything and everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, it's also a protective mechanism I got from being bullied and picked on in elementary and middle school.
Childhood, yeah.
Yeah. So, I do it, and some of the girls I've realized have taken out the pads of their sports bra or workout top, and my first thought is, Why would you do that? Are you trying to get everybody to stare at your nipples?
Yes. Well, because it's,
I'm
more
gonna look
airy.
sexy.
Or it's going to be more airy and less...
But they
huggy.
have the padding built in. What did she do? Cut the hole and pull out the padding? That's where my brain instantly goes, because, I know this stuff because of the wife and other females that I've always talked to and been friends with my entire... I've always been easy to talk to chicks and have female friends.
Yeah.
That's why it's like, why don't I get along with guys? Am I like just too badass and they're afraid I'm going to take their girlfriend? Because I mean, I could, but what does that have to do with it?
No idea. I just know that it's pretty funny though that you pointed that out, because I have noticed a couple times whenever I'm walking around at the gym that a lot of the chicks just like they're pointing.
Yeah.
They're pointing at me.
It's the randomest things. You're just walking around and they turn around, and whether they're looking directly at you or giving you the side-eye smile, directly pointing directly at you, they give you the side-eye and be
That's
like,
what I was doing earlier.
and do the, like they're stretching. It's like, trying to show me your tits. Don't even lie, bitch.
Yeah.
Because it's clearly obvious.
Yes.
And fucking hilarious that they do that.
What's even funnier is it would turn into a TikTok meme if like I filmed like us two like doing some of that little interaction with people at the gym, because like there'd be chicks that would be doing the whole chest thing, and then you and I would look at each other. And
natural or not?
Yeah.
In what way? Any way you can think of, sweetheart. These are natural. That's not what I was talking about, but thanks for grabbing your boob for me.
Or just like us look at each other, look at the women look at us, and then we just kind of like do our own flex, pushing our own chest out, and then suddenly you got both sides pushing their chests out.
This you's got the bigger nipples. Hang on a second. I gotta restart.
Let's twist the dial.
No, it's the... I gotta put on the choke.
Yep.
Gotta choke the engine before you start it.
And then like at the very top of the video, just call it Chest Flex Volume 1.
Randomness at the gym.
Yeah.
Okay, I gotta watch
And
this.
then eventually we get to the point where I get so famous about it that like people see us and they're like, "Oh my god, you're gonna do the Chest Flex series?"
Do you want to? Well, I'm in a t-shirt. Well, do you have a bra on? Yeah. Take off your shirt. You're good. As long as you're not freaking... Here. We have these bikinis just in case the situation happens.
Yep.
They look at you. You be like, I didn't know he'd keep them in his dang pants pocket. They look at me. I'm always prepared. Boy Scouts. Always be prepared. And they'd be like, I can't argue with that.
Yep.
It's just a string bikini. But it's swimwear, so technically that's legal to put on a video. Underwear is, you're trying to be naughty.
Yep.
It's not naughtiness because it's swimwear. Damn, my rollers are too big for these. Oh, hang on, sir. That one work?
Yeah, that's funny. Like,
Because you know me, I'm a dirty old man. I don't care.
We have talked so many times about doing different types of videos in the gym too, and then you got
We should.
And you got kind of scared up by it because like of all the videos you saw of all the chicks trying to. Accuse
I didn't get
people
scared of it. I just like. But then our workouts would be half-assed because I do the workout or you do the workout and one of us is recording.
Yeah.
And they bounce back and forth. I think we wouldn't get as intense or as good as a workout.
That's because I zone in and hyperfixate on the workout myself, and then I just don't even think.
Same
about
here,
else.
yeah. Because we used to do TikToks about it just for shits and giggles, and we've just been so in the zone with the workout. It's okay, whatever. I'm so into the zone with the workout. Even taking the freaking like weekly physique pictures, it's
pictures.
like meh.
That's why I thought it was funny how when I saw myself in the reflection and I saw my shoulders and my arm bulging and I was just like, oh yeah, flex. And then I was
and then I went like this.
And first you were in the background and you were still like flexing and I'm like, and I took the picture, had that moment, and then like I was like, you totally photobombed it, and then you just walked up and you're like, I'm a photobomb. I'm really photobomb. And then you put out your arms like that, and then I took another shot.
Flex.
Took another picture shot, and then I sent him over to Alan.
Yeah, I remember you saying that.
Yeah, sent it first to the wifey, then I sent it to him, And then I sent it to Cam, just to be funny. And she's like, okay, LOL. And I'm like, here you go. Bunch of muscly men in your life. And she's like, still have a headache. I almost said you are the headache.
Oh, but don't do that. You're our one in.
Yeah.
We gotta keep you as the one in, so that way she doesn't try to light us all on fire like Russell would, because she's just like, well, I hate y'all because of my past and this and this. Stop acting like the father-in-law you say you hate. I'm not. See how you jumped right there and started screaming? Exactly like it. And take 5 steps back and wait for her to try to swing, and then just go.
I love you, Cam, and all, but sometimes you can
Push those buttons.
Yeah, you can be on one. But love you, Cam. Love you, girly.
I mean, I like her. She's a good girl. It's just when I tried to, coach her on the don't let your past events, like you're doing, because you keep bringing up your past events, control your current.
Yeah.
Don't let the past control your current and your future. And she kept bitching about, shut up, leave me alone. I'm like, all right, we're just gonna be negative ass. All right, cool. And then, it became a conversation, and then I told her the truth, and then now she's all pissed at me because I'm like Russell. I'm not like Russell. I didn't yell at you. I told you the facts. Yeah. You ask a question, or you ask for somebody's input. If you don't like what they say, just shut up.
Yeah. What I even told her.
Talk to the person about that sort of shit.
Well, what I even told her, I'm like, I told her the night that we not the next day that, because we spent the night, but the first day we were down there, the first night we were down there, recently, I looked at her and I was like, you really think that either Tim or Nephi are like Russell? And she's all like, well, I didn't exactly say that. I'm like, you kind of did it over Messenger. And she's just like, going,
you said it a few times.
And I was like, you said it quite a few times, and then she kind of walked it back a little bit, and then I was like, I mean, they're gonna have similarities because they're as kids, but like, I spend dramatically more time with Tim now than I ever did over the years, and I have to say that being around him is a very different ball game, very different experience than being around Russ. Like, it just is. And she's kind of like, well, it's just, I don't know. And I'm like, you know that you enjoyed being around Tim a lot. Like, you know that. Like, it wasn't that bad.
You had one incident and then decided, I'm Satan incarnate.
Yeah.
If I was Satan incarnate, I would have never said anything to piss you off. I'd have made you love me, and then I'd have slit your throat from behind.
That's ironic.
I'm being honest. I've never said anything away from her or not in her face that I wouldn't say to her face. That I haven't already or have told her to her face.
Yeah.
Because Nephi's like, well, you're on spirit. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
She wants to let it go. We could talk. Until then, she can kiss my ass. And he's like, okay, I got you on Bluetooth now.
What's even funnier is I've actually, they don't really, they I think that Nephi's slowly realizing that even if he tries to pull what, you just told the story of, that I would just laugh at him and be like, okay, well, I'll tell Cam directly anyway. Like, I'll say it again if she's around. And he's like, well, we don't want drama, and I'm like,
it's not drama.
Okay. Like, you're gonna end up, like, having her yell and bitch about something else anyway. So why give a shit if she hears that one thing that you didn't want to hear? Like, get over it. Like, part of being an adult is being able to communicate effectively and being able to see both positives and negatives.
And when the other side just starts bitching and cussing and doesn't communicate properly, then you just shut up and don't say anything. You don't say anything. You don't talk to me. You don't love me. Well, I love you. You're just a stupid bitch, and I'm not arguing with you anymore because it's not. I just call somebody a stupid bitch because that is the current iteration that they are showing and putting forward. Not that they always are, but that's what they're pushing forward.
Yeah.
To make themselves look like. That's like Dad puts forward the asshole mentality and the asshole thing, but he can't admit and hates being called an asshole. Where my crazy ass, Karnage, is, yes, you're just not figuring this out? Wait, you admit you're an asshole? I've always been an asshole.
Based on social media standards and social media norms, if you're honest or rude, aka saying what's on your head, and not flattering or being courteous, aka lying,
Fuck Christ.
then you are an asshole by social media standards. So, in all reality, everyone I know that has male genitalia is an asshole.
90% of us.
Yeah, 90%. Yeah. But following social media standards, yes, we're all assholes, essentially.
Well, it's the weird part of thinking with your brain instead of thinking with your emotions. We're computers. We're basically meat AI.
Yeah.
Here is the info. Here's the solution. I don't like that solution. Well, no offense, I have no emotions. I cannot tell you the emotional response. Thank you. Have a wonderful day. $20 for your answer. Like ChatGPT or whatever.
Yeah.
Pay me for my input, bitch.
Yep.
I'm not gonna pay you. You said something that makes me uncomfortable with myself and the world. Okay, bye. Do not come back to this website and ask or input another question. Have a wonderful life. You are now blocked from this website. You didn't pay. Screw you.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I always find it funny when interacting with people on social media. They'll say they want something, or they'll say they want a need, or they'll have a need,
Okay,
and then when you get their need, they get mad. Getting sleepy, you might fall asleep. Don't fall asleep.
Shut
You got
up,
Dr.
let her
Pepper.
sleep.
You got caffeine.
Shut up, let her sleep. So that way she can kick the kids in one. Get the hell up, school.
She always sleeps during the day though, like without fail, like 2 to 3 hour nap.
What's wrong with that? Even when I
Every
work
day.
out, dude. No, if I work out hard enough, in the middle of the day, I'll just pass the fuck out for an hour or two. And if I don't do it at the proper time of day,
So I was right.
I accidentally do it when the kids are supposed to come home, and it's like, oh, I'll just sleep until somebody calls me or comes home.
So you heard it here, Cam. You heard it here. It is genetic.
Yeah.
Between Nephi,
Mom.
that is the second person, Amber, and now him. 4 people.
No, we all do it. If we're bored or we're not doing something, lights out. Screw you. Kiss my ass. Bye. It is genetic.
Whereas me,
Mom calls it,
whereas me, I just like go until I crash.
what is it that Mom calls it? Where you can fall asleep at any point in time.
Narcoleptic.
Yeah.
It's like a form of narcolepsy.
Yeah. That's what we have. That's why I like to keep moving and always doing shit. That's when you're like, well, what did you do? I did this. Did you stop at any point? No. Because if I stop, that's when I pass out.
Okay.
So I try not to stop, so that way I don't fall asleep, so that way when it comes to bedtime, I can just go and don't have issues with insomnia or anything.
What's funny is I came downstairs on a work break and came downstairs, saw Amber on the couch like this, a head back, normal pose, arms off to the sides, and then I saw Luciana sitting on her lap, not facing her chest, but sitting on her lap facing outward like that, like she's sitting here and she's sitting here. It was like mother-daughter, and Luciana's like this as well, but her head's off to the side. She's like, and her arms are like this, like that, and I'm looking at it, I'm like,
camera, click.
grab my phone, click, like mother, like daughter.
But I mean, that's okay. Here's how bad it is for me. High school. I knew how to do the math before the teacher showed me, because I always had hiccups the second half of the school year. We've talked about this before. On the podcast and off the podcast. So I was so far ahead already from being taught stuff that we didn't get to in school, in summer school, math that I had not a clue how to do and had to figure out how to do, or have the person for the summer school math teach me, that by the time school came around, I was already a year ahead of everybody else. So I just started, and this was my senior year before I decided to leave halfway through the year of school. Because I'm like, no, this is literally pointless and getting me nowhere because the 1 or 2 classes I have issues with, I got to retake, and there's not a way to retake it the way I need to retake it.
Yeah.
Because it was the AP, whatever, history, whatever, and I just needed to take the regular one. And she's like, well, we don't have a regular one for that period. You'd have to change it with this period. Well, I can't because this class only goes these many periods, and there's no more room in any of the other classes.
Yeah.
So I said, nope, I'm not going to take AP because I'll either fall asleep or I'll freaking show everybody that I'm not the dumbass. Y'all are just boring. But I'd also gotten to the point where I was so good at math. I was in Algebra 3. I already knew how to do all the equations. And Charlotte Page, I was basically putting on the Riz, as the kids call it nowadays. And with her, and I rizzed her so well, she basically was living with the guy who was her kind of boyfriend, and who literally went after her and was her best friend when I met her, who always wanted to be her boyfriend, and I told her that, and she's like, no, I don't think so. And then it finally happened. But I was tutoring her and showing her how to do all the math equations where she couldn't figure them out, and I was sleeping in Algebra 3. I slept so much, and the teacher even saw me helping her.
Yeah.
And other people that he knew, because, well, how are you getting this now? Oh, Tim showed me. Or, he helped me understand how to do it.
Yeah.
I fell asleep in his class so much, one day I woke up, the lights were off, and I'm like, I better try to go to my next class, because I don't know how fucking late or whatnot I am. I don't know how screwed I am, because he just left and turned off the light, because we were his last class for the day. Shit!
Yeah.
I literally just grabbed my crap, went to the next class, I literally got in the door, sat down, then the bell rang. Skirted that. I literally skirted the next class.
Makes sense.
Because I was so bored in Algebra 3. What was it 4? I think it was 3. Pre-calc. That I was taking a nap because I already knew everything he was teaching because I'd already gone past that level in summer school.
Yeah.
Because like, well, this is where they should have gotten at this point of the year and this point of the year. This is how they should have gotten. Yeah, the first like 3 modules I flew through because I already know how to do the equations because I went further in the book than we were going in class. But the last 2 or 3 modules were a complete clusterfuck to me because we hadn't got anywhere close enough to it for me to know how the hell to do it. Like the bracket, like squared or cubed, you know, the 2, 3. One of the equation things that had it in it for the summer school was that to the infinity. That was the little bracket. It was infinity bracket. I'm like, we did not go over this. I need to understand how to do this.
Yeah.
She told me, showed me. I think I figured it out because I got 5 out of the 6 questions right on the next little like test on this section.
Yeah.
But I mean, it was so. We didn't go over this, and technically, infinite, you can't calculate it as a number because it doesn't calculate. That's like 0 technically doesn't calculate because 0's nothing.
Yeah, 0 is zilch.
Yeah. It's non-existent.
It's barely even a number.
It's not, actually, technically it's not a number because 0 was just them drawing a hole in the page, but everybody started using it, so it became a number. 0 is just supposed to be a hole in the page. You literally are drawing a hole in the paper.
Yeah, because
that was the original write down. I can't even remember which guy who does physics or whatever was trying to explain it, or writing out about how 0 is nothing and whatnot.
That's something that the teacher told us in school too.
It's something I learned
in order for them to
outside of school.
In order for them to calculate math,
things
back in the back when math was really invented and counting was invented, like calculation.
Well,
the 0 was literally just a black hole in the sand or black hole in whatever they were writing on. It wasn't papyrus, and they would use the 0 to calculate emptiness.
Yeah.
Like nothing. Like you have nothing
You
left.
literally drew a hole in the page.
Yes.
Circle, scribble,
Yeah.
or just circle. There's a hole in the page.
Because it used to be that they would just make marks. And that would be 1 mark, another mark, 2.
There's the Roman dashes.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Before
1,
they started
2,
just
3,
using
4,
regular
5.
regular numbers. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was how math used to be calculated.
Uh-huh.
Because back in the Roman times, it was different.
Well, everything was different because you also have the I, then the V, then the X, and then
And the
it's
X, and the X
C, and
changes
then
it to
L,
10.
and then M.
Yeah.
I used to know this stuff. I used to, like, because I actually looked it up once and just had it memorized.
I was actually
now I'm
gonna.
kind of like, there's these letters that they use for it.
I was gonna use the Roman numerals for the series before I realized it would become confusing after a while once I got past 30. So I was like, I'll just use the regular numbers.
See, the funny part is, I think M for 1,000 is awesome, or, yeah, M is for 1,000 because that's a millennium.
Yeah.
A millennium, it's 1,000 years. A century, 100.
Yeah.
C. That makes sense to me.
Yeah.
That part made sense. I'm like, oh, that's obvious.
Yeah.
That stuff made sense to me. Perfect. That's why it was really easy to remember.
Yeah.
And if I got those wrong, put it in the comments so that way we have interactions.
Yeah,
there you go. Now we'll have 1,000 comments explaining or telling us how I'm wrong or how you got it right, but this is why. And yeah.
Anytime you guys, if you guys are watching and stuff or listening, and you guys have your own opinion on something or have your own thought
Crazy
process, post it. Post it in the comments and have a conversation with us. You know, this is us chilling and talking about stuff. I literally, when I shared the link, I said, "Come chill with us," is what I said, because really, this is the unofficial podcast. Like, this is we're officially Crazy Peas, yes, but it is so informal that I barely even plan anything for it anymore. I mostly just kind of like, there'll be a week where I'll tell them, like, oh, a show's coming out, let's go ahead and talk about that show. But if there's nothing coming out or anything, we literally just do what we're doing now. Or or he'll have like 6 videos from Instagram that he wants to show, and then we just do a little commentary, and then that's it. But like, this is literally one of the most informal podcasts I've ever participated in.
Well, and see, I have fun with that. Because you liked the structure at the beginning, but I'm like, okay, we can do the structure, but I hope you know that's not how my brain works. I'm going to go off on fucking random bullshit whenever, wherever.
Every single week, or every single time we did that, it would go, what, Scotty Wampus. And I'd have like people like Will, and I'd have people like JB and other people like that want structure, that crave a box to be like, you guys should come up with a topic and structure it, or whatever. And I'd be like, that doesn't really work.
What was it? Was it JB or JT or one of them?
Yeah,
one
JB.
of the J's.
JB.
When we were talking about, I think it was Wolverine.
Yeah.
About some of the stuff with the movies and Loki and the how they would have to, what they would have to do to put that into the MCU.
Yeah.
Because of the way it's not.
Mm-hmm.
And how I was saying with the different timelines and a lot of the stuff that's in the Wolverine comic books and some of the like 90s cartoon that they never put into the movies, or that's not in the mythos, or that they changed for the movie format, that I thought was kind of bullshit. They skipped that part or took that part out or altered it.
Yeah.
And he's like, no. And you're like, I've never heard that. And he's like, no, he's right. That was one of the things they actually did back in the day that nobody remembers.
Yeah, that was actually
because it's one of those things that I keep. Because Wolverine's like my favorite character.
Mm-hmm.
He's I'm a superhero. I'm here to save your ass. Fuck you, you. I said save your ass. Shut up. Well, I go beat the shit out of the bad guy.
Yeah. But he also is the one that smokes the cigars and, you know, goes, hey,
actually,
Bob.
technically, he doesn't. 90% of what you see on most of the stuff, he's not actually smoking the cigar.
What the fuck is he doing then?
He's just holding it in his mouth. Instead of actually dipping, he's literally just soaking the end of the cigar to absorb the nicotine.
I swear there's
it's
smoke
like
coming out of
dipping. every
They're
once in
smoking
a
on that
while,
cigarette.
they show him smoking a cigar in the comic books and some of the anime and other stuff they've done.
And there's like a little
But
line of smoke out of it.
Rarely is he actually smoking. 90% of the time, he has had a puff or two off of it, but he puts it out and just holds it in his mouth. It's literally just sitting there. So that way he's not grinding his teeth. Because all the stuff that goes on in his brain, or all the lost memories that pop in every once in a while, or just the random thoughts in the back of his head he can't control, it's sitting there so that way he's not grinding his teeth or just sitting there doing something that would look completely apeshit nuts and crazy.
Yeah.
That's how he keeps himself in control, because the nicotine
It's a
keeps
stemming.
him to enough of a freaking level of subdue,
The
so
trauma
that way he
coping
doesn't
mechanism.
snap or go off or his claws accidentally come out because he's gotten to that point.
That's what I figured about the cigar
Because
thing.
usually when
was
he's
that
fighting, he spits out
coping.
the cigar
Mm-hmm.
because of the healing factor. He has to always have it in his mouth to get the numbing or the subduing effect. When he spits it out of his mouth because of how fast he heals,
Yeah.
the nicotine effect is almost instantly off. He's in fight mode. He can go into rage or instantly, almost instantaneous. That's what I always loved about it, and I remember thinking about that and realizing that when I was younger,
Yeah.
and I made that comment to somebody. Like, that's not true. I'm like, think about it from a scientific point of view. If you can heal yourself almost instantly, you have to drink 3 to 4 times the amount of alcohol anybody else has to, like you're a werewolf or a vampire, to show any effects.
Yeah.
Because your blood instantly heals or cures. You literally have to have a constant drip of nicotine to do it. That's why he smokes the cigar, so that way, because he smoked it, the nicotine is already, because he already puffed the nicotine to the back.
Yep.
Naturally, just him holding his mouth will drain it all the way back to his mouth. He can literally, it'll soak from the middle to the outside. Once it gets to the outside, cigar's done. Light up the next one, take a few puffs, put it out, and just nicotine fix.
Interesting.
That's how I always saw it, because even when you see him smoking, it's not for like a long time. It's only for a few scenes or a few like sections of the comic.
I have to look that up and figure out the science on that.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Well, there's no science to it, because also the only issue I had with the last Wolverine movie, with
You
the
mean Logan?
yeah, no, it's still a Wolverine movie.
Yeah.
And Logan's not even his real name, so that's another ha-ha.
James Howlett.
Yep.
Did you notice how in the taxi cab though he had James Howlett on his dashboard?
Oh, I know.
Yeah, he had his actual name on his dashboard.
Yep. But I always thought the interesting part about him is no matter what you do to him, you can't kill him. He's at least, or he could age, because he aged just so slow. And they talk about it on the first episode of X-Men, the cartoon series from the 90s, that with his healing factor, we don't know how old he is. But the thing in the Logan movie is he's had the antimantium because it's a heavy metal, and even with his healing factor is the only reason he's still alive. But it's slowly killing him because it's a heavy metal poisoning.
Mm-hmm.
And my first thought in that is that because they didn't know how to properly make it so that way it wouldn't do that? Or is that just a canon they put in so that way they could kill him off because he didn't want to play Wolverine Logan anymore?
That's the answer.
Because, well, no. Because the honest thing is, in most of the comics, and I think they showed it in the TV animated series on one of them, that Magneto or somebody else, depending on which comic line you follow, he's had the antimantium pulled out of his body.
Yep.
So in Logan, he shouldn't still have the antimantium claws because at some point before you get to that point where the storyline's supposed to be, he's supposed to be back to just bone. So his body would have actually had enough time to heal from the heavy metal poisoning.
Yeah, it's called Old Man Logan is the storyline for Logan the movie that they drew
Yeah,
from.
but see, I actually had at one point, I don't know if I still have it, the Logan comic where he was basically because he lived so long, he went back into feral mode,
Yeah.
and he had bone claws, but he was literally like Sabretooth is, all feral and stuff.
Yeah.
But he was more feral than Sabretooth was in the comic books and in the animated series in the 90s.
Yeah, because Old Man Logan is character is an aged version of Wolverine set in an alternate future universe designated Earth 807128, where the supervillains overthrew the superheroes. Introduced as a self-contained story arc within the Wolverine ongoing series, writer Mark Millar and artist Stephen McNiven, the character became popular with fans. After the death of Wolverine, Laura Kinney took the Wolverine mantle, but an Old Man Logan from the similar Earth 21923 was brought in to serve as an X-Man and featured in his own ongoing series.
Yeah.
Because Death of Wolverine was one of the comics they drew from for that movie Logan.
I remember the comic, but I mean, in 90% of the other like universes or versions,
Yeah.
he gets the adamantium took out of his body. So my first thought is, if you have the healing factor and it's that damn good, would you actually that happen to him? Because the funny part is, the guy cut off his adamantium claws in a movie before the Logan one, where the old guy that he met and saved in World War II or whatever it was in Japan literally used hot adamantium in his suit to basically drain or try to drain Logan's blood to steal his healing factor to become young forever.
Yeah.
From his point of view.
I just know that I didn't like the way that Logan ended, so I've never watched the movie after the first time.
I've watched it like 2 or 3 times. But see with Logan and like X-Men and stuff like that I like have a real invested and like the characters.
Yeah.
I can watch that 100 times, and each time I'll find something new that they fucked up on, or find something new that I like that they put into the movie that most people don't know about from the comics.
Yeah.
That's instantly where my brain goes.
The Death of Wolverine storyline also featured a mutated Hulk, Hulk babies.
Yep.
And there was like so many other things that they had in that comic book series that they did not put in the movie.
Well, of course not. Because Hulk's part of the MCU. We can't do that. We're not MCU. We're Fox.
You could have easily
Because
put a
Fox
different version
does
of
it,
Hulk, though.
and the MCU was done by, I don't remember what the other company was that was bought out by Disney.
Yeah.
One of those lovely little factoids I remember.
Yeah,
Alright, I
I feel like if they had put in
the proper timeline for
the
the rest
proper
of the movies,
timeline, and then also put in like the whole character and then the other characters, and just called it its own thing. Like said, okay, yes, we know that Marvel's making the Hulk for their MCU story, but this is this universe's Hulk. This is this universe's, characters or whatever.
Get the guy who originally did the Hulk for the Incredible Hulk, which is supposed to be the Hulk, but he wouldn't come back because of some bullshit.
And have it to where he looks.
Hire him, and they get a different
He just
Hulk.
happens to be a variant that looks like the guy from the other movie. And
I'm saying they could have used that character, that guy.
Yeah,
I mean, you probably
iteration.
asked for outrageous money, but I mean, if you did that, you know how much money you'd make.
Yeah,
That's what, like I want to see, and I would love if Disney did this now that they own basically like 80% of Fox now. They
Yeah.
own all the rest of all the X-Men movies and get a share from that. Why not do the Wolverine TV series to go all the way through his lifeline and find a new actor to play Wolverine, because Hugh doesn't want to play him anymore. He's only playing him in Deadpool 3 because of who asked him and basically who's running the show. Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah.
Because if it wasn't Ryan, he'd have told him to go fuck himself. But because it's Ryan, you can do that. and because they used a different actor, or somebody who didn't look, in my opinion, close enough to the actor they used as Wolverine for Wolverine or X-Men Origin Stories Wolverine, if they used that kid or pick another kid that's similar and actually do a TV series for the whole Wolverine story.
Yeah.
I mean, the fun you could have with that, the freaking... Dude, you'd have the Wolverine fans be like, bitch, I'm in.
Yes.
I mean, because me, I'd be like, God damn it, fine, I'll pay for 1 more year of Disney. Fuck. You know I would.
Yes.
For that series, bitch.
I mean,
I'm
I
in.
think we all would. And I'd like to, like, you know, I'd have a late night at work or something, and then, like, order myself some fucking Betos or whatever, and then just turn it on and just be like, and then just veg out and go, yep, this is gonna be great.
Yeah, and then we'll talk about it, and then I'll tell you where they fucked up and where they screwed up on some of the timeline, or they went from this timeline, which is shittier timeline, because this timeline does this, and it'll be a fucking 4-hour conversation on Wolverine, and I'll get really deep into some shit, and we have to go back to some of the comic books I've seen or had, or reawake my memory for some of it, because you know they have that stuff somewhere online where someone's like, yeah, here it is, for free, but you can only read like 2 comics a day, because there are some websites that have the digital comics, or the actual like DC or Marvel digital comics that they only let you read so many pages out of the comic book, before like, okay, pay, or you gotta wait a week so that way you can read that many pages, or you get 1 page a day.
Yep.
Oh, I did that. I did that for a month
like
on
that.
one of the Batman ones that they came out with, because I wanted to look at the timeline. I got far enough into it, they go, oh, I want more, and they're like, nope, that's all you get. I waited the week, read the rest, and I'm like, oh, you went that way, you're a dumbass. Okay, done.
Yeah.
That was it. Oh, you're an idiot. Okay, I'm finished.
Yeah.
Because I always think it's funny. Batman was like the best. No, Batman's almost the smartest. Does nobody realize if Superman actually paid attention to Batman more congruently and actually kept an eye on him, Batman wouldn't have anything to kill anybody or have a plan to take everybody out just in case shit goes sideways, because Superman would literally like instantly blow up or destroy or take care of any way of that plan just in case shit goes sideways. Literally just throw it into the ether and say fuck you, that nope, bye.
Yeah.
Because I mean, also, what is it? One of the supposedly evil Supermans that got brainwashed by the bad guy that hates Superman, that's the god of hell, but it's not hell, it's next to the god of, next to the planet of gods, and
you got Darkseid.
That's it, Darkseid.
Okay.
He tortured Superman for so long with kryptonite. Superman still has his powers, but he's brainwashed, and he does whatever Darkseid says, but yet he's always green, and he has a green S emblem on his chest. But depending on which one you go, because there's 2 different ones, and I know there are because I've looked at it, well, he lost his powers in one, and in the other one, he just has like weaker powers because kryptonite was used so much on him, and he let him heal from the kryptonite torture, that he actually got a slight resistance to the kryptonite, so it can't be fully used on him. But by the time that had happened, Darkseid had brainwashed him enough to turn him into his little puppy bitch. Yeah, fun.
Interesting. But does that mean that if Superman were to punch Earth, would it turn into a molten rock?
But Darkseid doesn't want to destroy Earth. He only wanted to destroy Earth to completely fuck with Superman, the most powerful entity in this area of the universe.
I thought Darkseid was trying to repopulate Earth himself, and he was trying to use it. He wanted Earth as a way to have people
to torture in his world to give the people in his world because there was no more people to torture because they'd already tortured everybody.
That was a weird thing about Superman is that a lot of his villains want to control Earth for some reason. Like you got Zod who wants to terraform it to make it like Krypton. Then you got Darkseid who wants to take it over.
He's broken.
And then you got
Darkseid only wanted to take it
got
over
Brainiac
and
who
or
wants to eat it.
destroy it just to fuck with Superman. That's the only reason. To fuck with the guy who's almost or as powerful as him.
Then you got Brainiac who just wants to eat Earth. Because he likes to eat planets.
It's not even eat Earth. It's I'm going to steal this much of the population and miniaturize it so that way I can add it to my collection and then fuck the rest of you and I'm going to nuke the planet.
What it had to do with he wanted to absorb the knowledge of the planet. And in doing so, he eats the planet.
I see it as he just steals all the resources from the planet to keep his world moving because it's like an engine. He's just feeding it fuel.
Well, yeah, Brainiac is a computer machine, so...
I like
basically a
the
robot.
2 or 3 generations down when Brainiac actually merged with 1 or 2 generations of him trying to create more Brainiacs.
Yeah.
Actually became a flesh and blood Brainiac and became a good guy. And every generation after that actually born Brainiac, half machine, half, well, basically meat machine.
Yeah, because I believe Brainiac's also a Kryptonian experiment.
It was a Kryptonian computer that they had to tell them if anything was going to happen so that way they could counteract all of the possible natural disasters so that way their planet would never be destroyed, even with all of the pollution and whatnot that they had done in previous generations because they had moved beyond our planet's thing to get it to a level 2 civilization.
Yeah.
Because they were a level 1.5 civilization. They were using all of the resources on the planet, like earthquakes and volcanoes, to power all of their stuff, and they didn't have to use pollutants to power their planet anymore.
Yeah.
One of those weird factoids I love knowing about Brainiac and all that stuff, and he's like, oh, but they're so intelligent. Oh, but if they live forever, I'll be stuck here because I'm their little robot bitch. Yeah, fuck that. I got a backwards plan. Screw you.
You think he's the one who killed Krypton?
He is. They show it in the cartoon series, and it's part of a couple different TV series, anime and not anime, that they go over.
Because one of the things I remember from
in 2 of the 20 universes, I think.
From Smallville and also from the movies and some of the other iterations, I remember it being that...
Which movie? They have like 1,000 anime movies
the
about
first 2 live action ones.
Okay.
That they had mentioned that there was a disruption in the environment because they made it a global warming message for Krypton exploding. Because that it got sick and they got infected.
Yeah, they were trying to say this is why we shouldn't pollute, blah blah. I remember that bullshit.
Yeah.
But the thing was, when they went into the animated series, and I looked at some of the comic books when they went into it to see what the different stories is, because you know they always put out more than one universe story for it.
Yeah.
And part of it was.
That's
in the animated
multiverse.
series,
DC has a multiverse, so...
Well, they all have multiverses. But in the animated series, they went into it a little bit deeper when you get further into, like, the Superman or the... I think it's Justice League Ultimate or Unlimited or whatever it is.
Justice League Unlimited.
Yeah. They... And then a couple of the other stuff that where other characters are in comic books or animated series with Superman that actually, I think it's when he had Kal-El, Superman, plugged in and he was living on Krypton like nothing had happened. But what he didn't realize, because how powerful Kal-El's brain was, he actually tapped into and saw the original history of how Brainiac was planning behind the scientist who created him back and found a loophole with the safety programs they put into him because they made him smart enough to do that, and they didn't realize they'd done that.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's the AI that always grows. You
Yep.
know, like everybody's like, the AI will take over, it'll be the end of the world sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
That came from Brainiac, because he was the AI, and because all their computers and all the energy was attached to everything in the planet, they used him to figure out what would happen and how to fix it, so that way the world wouldn't destroy itself. That's why they got off the fossil fuels and all that stuff 1,000 years before they should have.
Yeah.
And he saw that an earthquake was coming because of some of the other stuff they were doing to try to keep off the fossil fuels to power their technology and create a better world to live on without pollution, that they actually were causing the planet to blow up 2 millennia before it should have, even if they were using the fossil fuels.
Yeah, I remember that being one of the explanations in one of the stories.
Yeah.
Cause
The weird little thing is, the weird little facts I remember about this comic book shit.
Yeah. and then they added to it with the Brainiac story because Brainiac himself expanded upon it a little bit when he talked to Clark about it and told him about how Jor-El, because he revealed that he knew his father, knew that Jor-El and Zor-El were both having a debate on how to handle that whole crisis. And
one said it wouldn't happen, the other one said, no, this is a definite. I've done the calculations. Well, fuck you, my computer Brainiac says we're full of shit.
Yeah, it was like a big giant
yeah,
idealistic debate, and
I remember that.
And then and then that's when he talked about how because Brainiac himself pitched it to Clark that if they found more Kryptonians, that they could repopulate Earth with Kryptonians, which is
funny.
Which is a similar story to Zod.
He has a miniature shrunken down thing from a town from Krypton.
Yeah.
But because of the way he shrunk them down and put them in the container, they literally are immortal.
Yeah.
I remember that being in the animated series and in a few of the other things.
And
that go
Smallville.
over Brainiac.
Because Smallville used that too.
Yeah. Oh, a lot of stuff used it. Because when they put it in the animated series, a lot of people went, is that in the comics? I never saw that. I gotta go back and look.
Yeah.
And they found it and went, oh, cool. And then they put it in every iteration of Superman if he deals with Brainiac.
Yeah.
One of those fun little factoids that if you weren't paying attention, it's in everything, because that was one of the more highly rated and watched episodes of the animated series. So like, oh, everybody likes it, so we're going to keep that as canon no matter what the fuck we do.
Yeah.
Fun little factoids.
So, what do you think about when I talked to you? Remember I told you a little bit about how I'm writing that one story, Prince of Brimstone.
I remember you talking about it a little bit. What specifically were you wanting to
I am
discuss?
basically taking the character Peter, and I'm gonna go a bit Hellboy with him.
Hellboy in what way?
Well, he's gonna have a horn, a couple horns.
He's gonna grow horns?
Yeah, he like the very beginning of the story, he starts to grow a horn and looks like a unicorn. Like,
okay.
he looks like a unicorn a little bit, and then he starts to grow the second horn. And I'm thinking about going a bit Hellboy with that character.
Because he is, like we've talked about our families, I think, because you and Judy both have a few of the same ancestors. Go far enough back.
It's more because of the fact that he's got celestial
the thing
blood.
about the whole, I wasn't saying celestial, but the demonic
Right.
blood in him, he's starting to turn into a demon because of he's becoming of age from a demonic of age point of view in years.
Yeah, he's like a demonic angel.
Yeah.
So he's like his own.
But okay, if you're gonna go
demigod.
that way, are you going with demonic horns? But the other way is, or another ideal or question I have is he going to also grow in another 20 years, 10 years, however far out you want to put it, start growing angel wings?
He's already got those.
Oh, does he? I
Yeah.
don't remember if he had or not.
Yeah, he actually, by the end of Snake of the Dame, his angel wings pop out. In fact, there was a couple times in the story where they pop out. And
Is it kind of like Lucifer? He can pop
Yeah.
out when he wants to, but
yeah,
hide him if he
but
needs
then,
to.
yeah, or
Okay.
but then also depending on what crux or crisis he's having with his emotions, they don't like to come out.
Mood. Yeah,
Yeah.
kind of like the Wolverine.
Yes.
He gets he spits out the cigar because he knows he's got to fight in rage mode, or if
Yep.
he doesn't have the cigar in his mouth, instant rage mode. Out come the claws, whether he means to or not, because that's where his body's defenses are. So I'm gonna fight, bitch.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and so I'm thinking about going a little bit Hellboy with him, with his character,
Okay.
because the fact that there's gonna be a couple times where, the Ron Perlman version, where like he's gonna be like, red means stop or something like that, and like making like little jokes like that. And I've already had his mom's character who narrates the story for the prologue joke around and calling him a sparkly unicorn, just because of the fact that he's got the ability to produce lightning. And so when he's getting really emotional in the hospital bed, his horn that's starting to sprout out of his head, it starts to blister with electricity, so he looks like a unicorn.
But see, if it's in the middle of his head, how are you gonna get the second one to come in, or is it slightly off to one side?
So his one horn's like right here, and his other horn's gonna be off to the side right here. So it's gonna be a little uneven. But there's a Brax in Star Wars that their horn patterns look weird all the time.
The Darth Maul race.
Yes.
Okay. Actually, I like that race because when they went over it in, I think it was the Clone Wars, showing his home world, when the sister race went back to get a man because she got told to fuck off by Count Dooku. She wanted to get her own apprentice.
Yeah.
And then found a way for Dooku to take him as his apprentice, to be her little behind the scenes way to kill Dooku.
Mm-hmm.
And take over his spot as the apprentice to the Emperor.
Yeah, it was the Saji Ventress and Dooku and Maul, and they were all kind of.
Well, and whatever the brother is, I can't remember his name. Maul's brother.
It was Darth
But
Maul.
it was slightly lighter skinned or more yellowish skin. I can't remember the name.
Savage Oprah's.
Yeah.
Yeah, Savage was his brother's name.
Yeah. I never remember, but I remember when him and Maul met up, he was like, "Oh no, I'm with my brother. Fuck you, bitch. Fuck you, Dooku.
Yeah.
We're gonna kill both of you."
Yeah, and Maul was solidly on his quest to conquer the underworld, and I was just like going, why did Palpatine just leave his ass alone and just let him do the underworld stuff while Palpatine's doing the overworld stuff? And it's like, I got your logic that you told me about, where he's like, oh no, I'm just gonna conquer all, and you became competition. He even says that in the show. He's like, you became competition, and I'm just like going, but why? Like,
Because
let
he's
him
trying to
lead
take
his
over
own
the
underworld.
Yeah,
Let
the
him lead the
underworld is still
underworld.
under my control. Why would I let you take control of something that's mine? Really, bitch? You trying to take over my planet? You're not in charge here yet. Oh, poor little youngling. You have no clue. I'm not a youngling. Really? You're acting like one.
I don't know. I feel like he's an idiot for doing that.
Well, but I mean, that
He
kind of
sowed his own
goes with
destruction.
the Sith thing.
Yeah, I know.
Everything is all one or nothing at all, so I must have it all or I must not have anything. So fuck you, you're trying to get a piece of my pie. I'm going to kill you, that's my pie.
And yet he caused himself to die because of that. Because eventually he does get killed off due to his own
stupidity.
Yes.
I just call it out, he's a dumbass.
Yeah, like I was like watching. Me and Alan actually came up with the fact that that Palpatine had peaked after Episode 3. Like, he had literally peaked after Rebels
He
and after
peaked at 2.
like, because of the fact that
But
he
the only
no
reason-
longer had anybody that was opposing him so strongly, so he stopped learning.
Do you understand why he peaked at 2?
No.
He peaked at 2 because he thought he had done everything because he had Dooku.
Yeah.
Basically equivalent of a Master Jedi turned to the dark side.
Yeah.
He quite dark side.
Yeah.
instead of having to send the nightmares about Padme,
Yeah.
he could have used Dooku
As a way to corrupt Anakin.
even more.
Yeah.
So that way it would have been an easy transition because he could have found a way to make it look to everybody like they're the ones who started the war. They're the ones behind the others who left are working brain democracy.
Yeah, and instead of ending the movie with a fucking marriage, they could have ended it with him corrupting him to the dark side.
I'm saying left it in such a way where